Shelter. Human beings and animals need a shelter to protect themselves from the rough weather and their enemies. We need shelter to protect from scorching sun, rain, and cold waves. A house gives us a shelter. A house also protects us from dangerous animals and thieves. We also live in our house comfortably. People live in different kinds of settlements such as hamlets, villages, towns, and colonies. Within these settlements, people who live close to each other in a particular area form a neighborhood. Neighbors share certain facilities like parks, playgrounds, shops, and community clubs. A good neighborhood is the one where people live together in harmony. Every settlement is divided into different areas which serve different purposes. Residential areas have houses. Commercial areas have shops and offices. Industrial areas are located at a distance from the residential areas. Schools, colleges, institutions, and hospitals have special areas for them. Green belts are also present to keep the environment clean. Factors that determine the types of houses. The types of houses vary from place to place. The main factors that determine the types of houses include the climate, economic status, and the availability of building materials. Climate. Climate is the most influential factor that determines the shape, size, and the materials to be used in making the house. In cold regions, houses are made up of wood. These houses have sloping roofs. The sloping roofs do not allow snow to accumulate on the roofs. Wooden houses are also made in earthquake-prone regions. In Japan, most of the houses are made of wood because Japan is an earthquake-prone country. These houses do not cause much damage to people. Besides, these houses can be constructed easily and quickly. In cold climate. In Arctic region, the surface is covered with snow throughout the year. People living in this region are called the Eskimos. They make dome-shaped houses using ice blocks. These houses are called igloos. Igloos protect the Eskimos from cold winds. The Eskimos cover the floor of their igloos with fur and animal hide for warmth. In hot climate. In hot climate, people make pakka houses. They keep the height of the ceiling quite high to keep the house cool. The walls of these houses are also wider. The roofs of these houses are flat that face the direct sunlight for a few hours a day. Most of the people also take rest on these roofs during nights. In wet climate. There are many parts in the world where heavy rain occurs frequently. These areas experience floods many times a year. To keep themselves safe from floodwater and dangerous animals, people make houses on platforms or poles above the ground. These houses are called stilt houses. These houses have sloping roofs that allow rainwater to fall down easily. People use ladder to enter their stilt houses. Economic status. Economic status is also an important factor that determines the types of houses. People of high economic status live in bungalows or apartments. A bungalow may be a single-storied or double-storied. It is quite spacious with a wide veranda and a lawn. The people of high economic status also live in big apartments in cities. These apartments are multi-storied and have independent houses called flats. These flats are well furnished with all the modern luxuries and facilities. People of medium income live in small houses. These houses are 1, 2 or 3-storied. They decorate their houses according to their income. There are also small budget flats available in cities for such people. No more. Some families in Netherlands live on boats called barges. These large boats carry goods along the canals and rivers. A tall building with many stories is called a skyscraper. New York in USA has many skyscrapers with stories ranging between 100 to 150. That's why New York is called the city of skyscrapers. In Mongolia, many nomads live in large round tents called yurts. They move from place to place along with their yurts. People of low income live in huts or thatched houses. They cannot afford the material to build pakka or permanent houses. So, they live in houses made of mud and straws that are cheap and easily available. These houses are mainly found in villages. In cities, poor people live in slum areas. They use bricks, mud, wood, asbestos, etc. to make houses. These houses do not have good sanitary facilities. Availability of building materials. The types of houses also depend upon the availability of building materials. In mountainous regions, stone chips and boulders are easily available. So, people make house of stones in these areas. In forests, tribal people make their houses using wood, leaves, mud, etc. In plains, where clay is easily available, people make houses of bricks. Special houses. You have studied about different types of houses. Apart from these houses, people also live in some special houses. Let us discuss about some special houses. Houseboat. Houseboats are found in Kashmir and Kerala. These houses are made of wood that float on water. They are usually moored as they have to be kept stationary at a fixed point. Houseboats in Kerala and Kashmir are made differently due to difference in the climate and the materials available. These houseboats attract tourists. Most of the tourists in Kashmir live in these houseboats. Tents. Tents are used by soldiers, NCC cadets, scouts and other people for camps. Tents are made of canvas cloth. We can fold this cloth and carry it with us easily. Caravans. A caravan is a house on wheels. It moves from place to place. Nomads and gypsies of Rajasthan use caravans to go from one place to another. They put their belongings in their caravans when they move. Colonies of animals. A large number of animal species also live on the earth. They have different types of behavior. Some animals live in groups, while some live alone. Some small insects like ants, honeybees and wasps are called social animals. They live together in large numbers and in highly organized society. Let's discuss about the colony of ants and bees. A colony of ants. Ants live in colonies together in an anthill. They usually build their colonies underground. An anthill consists of a series of chambers connected to each other by small tunnels. The worker ants of the group are very hard-working. They bring the grains of dirt and other things to make an anthill. All the ants live together in the anthill like a family. They communicate with each other using their antennae. They divide the work among themselves. There is hardly any fight amongst them. This is really a good example of a cooperative society. A colony of bees. Like ants, bees also live in colonies. They make hives to live in. A small hive can accommodate around 20,000 bees, whereas a large hive can be inhabited by around 1 lakh bees. The large family of bees include one queen, hundreds of drones and thousands of workers' bees. The queen bee gives birth to young ones. The drones are the male bees. The worker bees collect nectar from the flowers. Bees communicate through dances. When they dance, a unique sound is produced. This sound is picked up by the tiny hair on the bee's head and they understand the message. Points to remember. A house protects us from heat, cold, rain and wild animals. The main factors that determine the types of houses are the climate, economic status and availability of building materials. People build different houses in different climatic regions. Houseboats, tents and caravans are special houses. Ants and bees live in large colonies. They are called